Hey, welcome into the post-game show here at Sanford Memorial Stadium. As always, I'm Cody alongside head coach Kevin Davidson, and we're here after an 8-3 victory over the DeLand Suns. What did you think about this game and this team that you just played?
It was a good game. I mean, I got everything accomplished that I wanted to get accomplished. I got some guys, some ABs. I got guys to go against certain matchups. I'm glad I was able to stretch out Cody Weaver for 2 innings. And more importantly, hold off CJ Carter. So it was good.
Yeah, and I was wondering that if that game, the 8th inning ended earlier than what it did, would you have brought in CJ Carter?
Yeah, I mean, I was going to certainly had the intent to bring him in, and if we were up 2 or less, I wasn't going to bring him in if it was a tie ball game just to save him, and in the event we do play tomorrow. But I'm glad I got a chance to hold off on him, and he was certainly getting ready to go in.
And this game was bigger than just one win. This was the record tire from the Leesburg Lightning, set it with 29 wins, and you're 29-11 now, and your team is rolling.
Yeah, we're playing good. I mean, we got a good ball club. We've done well all season. The key is now we've got to this point, and just we've got to make sure we take care of business on that first playoff series. And I've been a part of teams that I believe we had the best record twice, and didn't make it to the drop. So. It's playoff baseball, and anytime you start getting up, against any of these teams, number 1 and number 2 guys, and with a limited bullpen, it becomes a pretty interesting 2 games.
Is there any added incentive that you're throwing towards your team, like, hey, if we get this record, I'm going to buy you guys all a pizza or something like that?
No, my guys are pretty competitive on their own, so they want the record as bad as I do, and hopefully we get it. But we got to take care of business tomorrow against Winter Park and see what happens.
Okay, and is there anything you're going to do for the playoff game to try to make sure that we have churros here?
No, I got word before the game. You were in there, and I got I believe all the interns and the GM staff. They basically huddled around and called an important meeting just to inform me that there was no more churros the rest of the summer, and kind of deflated me a little bit. I wasn't as happy as I was going into that concession stand, but hopefully we can get some, and we can find some good churros around and have them ready for me before and after the games. I love those things.
Those are my favorite too, by far. Have you tried one of the Fat Boys?
I have. Those are pretty good as well.
They're nothing like a churro, that's for sure. What are your thoughts on the Oreo churros?
Not a big fan. I tried those at Publix one time and got all excited, thinking I found a hidden gem, and I brought them home and they were awful. Ruined my night. All right. So now back to the game. 5 runs in the 8th inning. It's literally every night here at Sanford. It's the 7th, 8th, 9th inning. Is it because you guys get to the bullpen? Is it because you guys get more mentally in it? Is it because that's just the adjustments you make throughout the game? Or are these guys that just like playing late in the game? I'm still trying to figure it out. I really don't have a solution for you. These guys, it's like when they turn it on, I feel like when they want to, and they do a great job, but I just wish they wanted to in the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th inning. But they have a knack for competing. We're a very scrappy ball club. We have a bunch of guys that are very persistent, and they grind out ABs, and if we string a couple hits together, with the fact that we steal some bases and we put a little bit more pressure on the defense, and hopefully it gives our hitters better pitches to hit.
And moving forward towards the playoffs, you just showed a very dominant top of the lineup. Francis Villeman first, Dathan Pruitt second. They got on base a lot, and then they also started the 8th inning rally. Is that something we could see towards the playoffs?
Well, I had Omar Villeman hit first, and Dathan Pruitt second, and then Francis fourth. I can certainly see myself moving Francis up in the lineup. Kind of give some guys some protection. If I had to guess right now, I'd probably say I'm looking to move Eli down just because, of his injury. He hasn't been able to get a ton of ABs lately, and let him focus on what he does best, which is catch and just anything he gives me offensively, which I do expect a lot out of him. Just to take the pressure off and put him down in the order, make it easy on him.
So coming up here when we were walking, you asked your guys what was the highest exit velocity tonight, and it was 94 miles per hour off of the bat by Omar Villeman. That data, do you look at it on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, I do. We had a little competition going on in the game last night for highest exit velocity, and they had a reward afterwards, whoever had it for the game, and Parker Quinn went up and hit one, I believe it was 98, and then the very next hitter, Richie Rivera, hit one 102. So he took the prize yesterday, and then the second at bat, he hit another one 102. So he had two great ABs, just didn't have a hit to show for it. I'm
not sure if you know this or not, but I threw I think yesterday in the facility.
I saw you throwing out there.
Did you see my data? Anything
I
like?
didn't see the data. I didn't see it, but I saw you out there throwing.
Oh, so I'm not going to get the call up?
You might. I got to look at the data. The data will tell me everything I need to know.
You can just throw the fastballs out. Just look at the curveballs. That's it.
They work too.
But I want to say thank you for letting me go in there and throw. I got to do that. And if you look at the data, it says 141 pitches. Yeah, that's accurate, and I feel it today.
Your arm's hanging today.
My back, but it was awesome, and I love seeing it. It was such a cool setup, facility, and seeing pitch velocity and spin rate, all that stuff. And how fascinated are your players by that?
Very, very, and I think a lot of them will tell you that it's helped them out tremendously throughout the course of the year. I know guys like Skinner and Vlad and Tommy Barbary and Ronnie Orta have actually created a new pitch as a result of looking at their data. So the data has the ability to let them monitor their pitches as they're throwing them, and see the spin, see the velocity, see the break as they're throwing it with a new grip, and seeing if it's worth continuing to throw it, or if it's better than their previous breaking ball or something. So it's been right now we're still in the initial stages of trying to figure out how to implement it for the kids, but our whole company is really just more about believing in data, really taking its part and getting a lot more involved in the amateur space like it is in the big leagues and college. So we're essentially just creating a housing portal for all this data. Whether these kids play at all these local events or go to Atlanta or go to California, wherever their data is captured, we're creating a software that houses it in one location for them.
And I want to ask, how do we expand this? And I say we because I would love to help, and it's an incredible setup, and it needs to be expanded. It needs to be used throughout the country. This data, and you see it immediately, how you throw, how the pitch moves across the plate, stuff like that. How do you move that so that more kids can use this?
Well, we started this company with, we're really a liaison from Major League Baseball. I started this company with a couple guys that gave me a lot of good information on the Major League side. Major League Baseball is really wanting this data to be out there. They want to know the data. They believe the data is something that kind of holds the key to the secret as far as injuries go, finding correlations between certain spin rates and arm velocity extension. It has the ability to tell you if a pitcher threw the ball 5 feet 4 inches in front of the plate or in front of the mound, or 6 feet 2 inches in front of the mound, to see if a kid's maximizing his extension. So it's something. We're taking our time with it. We certainly we've already seen the penetration of data into the college market. The data market really hasn't kind of shown its way at the amateur level, at the high school level yet. You're starting to see the machines pop up at various locations, and I'm fully, I'm a big believer, and I'm very confident that 3 to 5 years from now, the recruiting process, the draft process, everything is going to be data driven, because it's something that allows you to have eyes on the players full time. And data has a big misconception. Everybody believes that if your data is great, that means you're great. You still got to tell if the kid can play or not, and that's the human element. So that part's never going to go away. That part's always going to be there. They just try to match up the human element with the real, what they call tools now. You just are able to monitor the tools with some technology. And integrating that, you're able to use that data against your opponents, because you measure all of their stuff when they pitch and they hit too, correctly? Yeah, I really haven't. I don't use it for scouting purposes. I don't use it for knowing who we're going to see or not. I'm really more interested in capturing it, and we care more about the process of capturing the data and throwing it on each one of these players' profiles inside the league. So what we've done is we've created a profile for every player that's been in the league, and all the data that we've captured from them, whether it's the All-Star game, whether it's a game against us. We've gone to a couple games that we haven't played in. Any data that's been captured on that player is going to be able to be seen by that player and scouts and evaluators. And the players have the ability to control what people see and what they don't see. So we're giving them the opportunity to do that. And if they go to their college and their colleges have a TrackMan or a FlightScope machine, which we use FlightScope. I think FlightScope's the best technology out there. It's a great partnership that we have with them. If they have any type of tracking device, we'll be able to grab that data and house it on their portal. Alrighty, and actually I'm going to ask one question about yesterday when
when I was throwing. Dexter hit a ball off me 354 feet to dead center. He said that was a triple. What, in your mind, what is that?
Now with Richie Rivera out there.
That's exactly what I said. I said, I have Richie Rivera out there. He's tracking that ball down easily.
Yeah, Richie has that in his back pocket.
Yeah, that's what I thought. He said it was a triple, and that gave him the tie. Whatever. So this team moving forward, you've kind of slowed down the stolen bases in the past and in the past few days. And tonight you guys got thrown out, I think, 3 times.
Yeah.
But I love the aggressiveness that you guys you're still, no matter what, you do the double steals, you do, no matter who it is in your lineup, you're stealing.
Yeah, we live and die by our aggressiveness. You know, we're an aggressive team by nature. You know, I try to, you know, as we get later in the season, I try to be more strategic so the kids can start, you know, getting more of the playoff approach. I mean, playoff approach is we're still going to steal bases, we're still going to attempt to steal, but we'll probably be more selective on it. You know, I try to make this a platform for the kids to work on it, so when we get to this time in the playoffs that we can do it. You know, today you saw we won it a couple times. You know, that's playoff baseball. I mean, sometimes you got to get to a point. You know, I'm not a big believer in the bunt. You know, I don't like the bunt. The kids don't come here to bunt. But the great thing about bunting here that's kind of contradicts what the stats say is that these teams don't work tremendously hard on the bunt defenses, and you know, they don't really know each other, you know, very well with, you know, rotations and everything else. So that's why here you often see a lot of the balls that are bunted in bunting situations thrown away, thrown down the right field line, and especially with guys that have the speed that we have, and you get these pitchers or, you know, any of these defenders to try to speed up their motion and get it there quick. You know, you're bound to make them make a mistake. And right, me and you talked about this a couple of days ago, that once it comes to playoff baseball, championship baseball, bunting is a big thing. We're going to see 3 to 4 bunts from either team. Yeah, you're most likely won't see 3 or 4 bunts from us unless unless we really need it and the matchups go well. But yeah, I mean, in my years here, I mean, every time you get in a playoff setting, you're going to see, you know, these guys bunting. Everybody's going to bunt a little bit earlier. Everybody's going to fight for that one run. And I can tell you, with us, you know, having C.J. Carter and Michael Gizzi in the bullpen, there's no doubt in my mind teams are going to do everything in their power to push across runs earlier, so they don't have to see those guys. You play Winter Park tomorrow in the season finale during the regular season. You're going for the record breaker of 30 wins. You broke the record for most wins before the All-Star game. Who you got on the mound going for you tomorrow? You know, that's a great question. I was waiting to see how we were going to go today, but I think right now, as of right now, it's probably going to be Proby. You know, I wanted to make sure that I had enough options available, and I do. You know, I'll be able to use Proby for a little bit. I'll be able to use CJ a little bit, Gizzi. I'll also be able to use Thompson, Giordano. You know, tomorrow's really going to be a bullpen day, and we also get Morales back, so Morales will throw an inning. But tomorrow, just trying to get everybody some work in, get a little feel. It's tough because tomorrow's the game to, you know, give us the record, but you know, I still got to keep in mind what the end prize is, and that's getting to the trop and being prepared for the trop. Alrighty, as always, thank you so much for coming up here, spending your time talking with me, talking with our fans. I love it. I enjoy the experience up here and all the wisdom that you bring, and we talk about the games. Thank you guys so much for watching on Facebook Live. This is head coach Kevin Davidson, and I'm Cody Shook. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you.